The first one was the one I mentioned briefly already, which is we want to be able to leverage the cloud easily. We don't want to go and learn cloud from scratch. We want to be able to just leverage data in the cloud the same way we have been doing it on premise. We want to be able to move between clouds. We don't know which cloud is the right cloud for the long term. It could be Google, it could be Amazon, it could be Microsoft. Okay, today we're going to work with Google, but tomorrow we might want to move to Amazon. So we want to have that flexibility of being able to work with any cloud, not just one cloud. And we want to have the flexibility of once we launch in a given cloud, maybe we want to go back to on-premise. We want to be able to have that fluidity. The second problem is they know that to extract value out of data, to make the impossible possible with data. So our customers want to look and have a multi-function system that allows them to consume data in different ways. It's the same data without having copies of it all over the place. So one copy of the data, but then consume it in different ways depending on what they're trying to do. 3 is security and governance. So most of these customers I mentioned to you as examples, being in banks, governance, hospitals, telecommunication companies, they have very strict regulations in terms of privacy and security that they need to adhere to. And over the last few years, because of the friction between IT and the business, some businesses have been going to the cloud directly and launching their stuff there without the central IT being involved. That's frequently called shadow IT. And shadow IT creates a problem because now when the businesses go that way, they can implement these things in the cloud without the proper controls around security and governance. And there has been many stories in the press lately about big leakages of privacy that happened because of exactly that. And then the last problem that our customers stressed is openness. And openness here is not just open source. We are an open source company, we can get to that. But openness is the ability to have open data formats that enable them to move their data wherever they would like. So a lot of the legacy software vendors and even the newer software vendors have their own proprietary storage formats for how they write data in their systems. And when you do that, it makes it very hard for you to leverage that data in other places because now you're locked into that proprietary format. Most of the big banks and the big telecom companies that we work with, for example, Globe Telecom, one of our larger customers in Asia Pacific, they are really just starting the journey right now. Like they have all of the legacy systems in terms of how they were storing data all over the place, duplicates and single function system for this, single function system for that. And they weren't really doing the leveraging data to make the impossible possible. Almost all organizations in the world and almost all of our customers are in that category. They're still embarking on the journey. They're still building out the capabilities to do this. And that is the biggest problem, meaning the skills that enables them to do this are not there. They don't have them yet within their organizations, and you can even hire for these skills. These skills are still being trained on how to do this new way of doing things. But that's the biggest problem. It's the skill gap in terms of the number of talented people out there, not just engineers. Engineers, business analysts, data scientists, statisticians. There is a very big gap right now, and that's the biggest challenge that all of our customers have. The 2 things it boils down to is number 1, self-service, enabling the business groups to deploy their own resources at their own pace with their own agility. So legacy on-premise environments, which have not been cloud-based in their architecture, if I want to add 10 more servers, I tell my IT department I need 10 more servers, and then I have to wait 6 months until the 10 servers show up. Right? In the new model of cloud native, what we mean is you say I want 10 servers, within a few seconds you have 10 servers. Right? So that's kind of and this is just one example. It's really about self-service overall. Like that doesn't have to be at the server level. It could be I want to run this new query, and I would like this new query to finish in 5 seconds. I don't care what you need to do. You can go and get me 1,000 servers, 2 servers. I just need you to finish it in 2 seconds. So how do you implement that? So that's what we mean first by cloud native, is simplifying the experiences of the developers to remove the rigidity that has existed in legacy IT. And that, by the way, applies to both public clouds, meaning with Amazon, Google, and Microsoft and others, but also on-premise cloud as well. So a lot of organizations now are deploying a technology called Kubernetes that you might have heard of, and that's enabling them to bring this flexibility of public clouds to on-premise so that they can fulfill that same promise. The other key aspect of cloud native is scalability, and specifically automatic scalability. And that's something we couldn't do. In the old world of IT, we buy the server is always there, we're paying for it all the time. In this new world, we're really renting the compute power up and down as a function of what we're trying to do.